Welcome to another segment of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons. Today I'm going to be talking about the episode The Anniversary from Season 6, which celebrates John and Olivia's 25th anniversary. If you're enjoying these, please do like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you'd like to know when I'm going to post another one. I've spoken before about the scenes in the kitchen and eating and all of that, and I commented how Michael Learned pretty much never ate. Well, in this episode, she eats. When John and Olivia go to see Corbeth and Ike and have dinner at their house, and Corbeth has created this, fancy menu with French cuisine, and you actually see Michael take a bite of food. So there you go. There's a specific example of Michael being caught eating on the Waltons. A little fun continuity point here. As Elizabeth is serving up mac and cheese, she puts it onto Eric, Ben's plate, and he makes some comment about it. And she says, okay, fine, then, you won't get it. And she takes it away from him. Then in this next shot, when you see him talking to Jason, you notice that his plate looks completely clean. So it does not appear to be any traces of that mac and cheese, which was put on his plate and then taken away. So as this would have been shot separately as its own camera angle, because now we are facing Eric as opposed to looking at the whole table, they would have reset, and the property person clearly just put a clean plate in front of Eric to use for that shot. So that caught my eye. I don't know if it caught anyone else's eye. In this episode, David Spencer is back, played by Robert Woods, who was with us for a number of episodes in season 5 with his relationship with Mary Ellen. And then once Mary Ellen married Curt, he was gone for some time, but then made a couple of appearances again. And here he is again in this episode, engaging in a flirtation again with Mary Ellen and causing some confusion for her. And she and Curt are separated because Curt is working now for the Army. And Curt is also having a little flirtation with a nurse where he is. So this is a situation where Mary Ellen and Curt have to work through this challenge in their relationship. So a nice little storyline. You see here the set of the attic, which was used frequently on the show. A number of segments like the quilting and I believe the cradle and a few other episodes, you see one or another of the members of the family up in the attic. This attic set was off of that upstairs hallway where the bedrooms were. Of course, everything was on the same level because it was on stage 26. So we were not indeed upstairs, but there were just a few steps up from the hallway into the attic, and you can frequently see people standing in the doorway speaking up into the attic. So interesting, because from the outside of the house, you don't actually identify where this attic is, and certainly it would have seemed like it was higher up. But this set was in existence all the time, so it wasn't a set that they had to recreate each time we used it, but they would put the set dressing back in. So a lot of these props and things that were in there might not be there all the time, and they would just add to whatever it was that needed to be there for the particular scene in question. I liked that in this scene, as Mary Ellen is hanging out in the doctor's nurse's lounge at the hospital, that she says she's reading Gone with the Wind and figures she's one of the only people in the country who has yet to read it. The book was released initially in 1936 and the movie in 1940. So by this point, we are into the war. So we're in around 1941, 1942. So yes, Mary Ellen would have been a bit behind the time and probably prompted to read the book by the success of the movie. A very sweet moment between Michael and Ralph as John and Olivia when she scrubs his back. And this is the only time you saw this kind of interaction, with Olivia helping John in the bathtub. So just a sweet character moment for the two of them as they are looking forward to celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary, and such a lovely relationship between the two actors creating these two characters. And they had a lot of really sweet moments, on the porch later on, where you just see various aspects of the relationship, and they once more reflect upon the story of how they came to be married, and which was talked about. Patricia Neal in The Homecoming talks about them going to see Preacher Hicks. And then in this case, Ralph, as John, retells the story from a completely different perspective and makes it sound like rather than Olivia's parents not approving of John, that John's parents didn't approve of Olivia because she was a wild woman. So they just have some fun reversing this story of how they came to be married. For their anniversary, Olivia gets John a phone. This is the first time we've had a phone in the Walton house. And of course, we all start enjoying having that luxury. I can't imagine any of us not only not living with a phone, but even not having a cell phone. It seems like these are pieces of technology that have been in our lives forever. So hearkening back to a simpler time. At the hospital, there's this scene where Mary Ellen takes this gurney into the elevator and David joins her. Elevators in shows. In this case, it was on a soundstage, so it was not indeed a real elevator. It was a set. So whenever that happens, there will be somebody who is activating a pulley system. So literally those doors get pulled open and shut in time with the pushing of the buttons and whatnot. So the elevator never moves. And if there needs to be some sort of difference in the hallway when we arrive where we're going, then they will just change out the set dressing at the arrival point of the elevator. In this case, because it's a hospital and every corridor basically they assume looks the same, they didn't really have to make any changes in what was happening with the exterior of the elevator when we exit the elevator. Whereas Olivia gets John a phone for their anniversary, John builds Olivia a gazebo up on the mountain at the site where he had always said he would build her a home up on the mountain. So this is a really sweet moment where he has done this for her and takes her up there, and they share this lovely evening together. And in fact, Olivia has her first taste of champagne. So that's a monumental moment in their lives. And then, of course, the entire family figures out where they are and comes to help celebrate. This gazebo, I believe, was built on a soundstage, and I think all of this may have been done inside, but maybe someone else in the cast will remember, or someone in the production will remember. But I seem to have some sense of doing some sort of gazebo sometime on a soundstage. This is where my memory gets faulty from 40, 50 years ago. So I apologize for that. Michael had wonderful memories of filming this episode, and this is what she had to say in Earl Hamner's book, Goodnight, John Boy. If I had to pick a favorite episode, it would probably be this one. It celebrated a special occasion for John and Olivia, and it gave Ralph and me the opportunity to play many different facets of our characters. The entire cast was active in the episode, and it was fun to interact with the whole crew. Olivia was often so straight-laced that I have to confess I got a secret pleasure out of the fact that at the end of this episode, she had her first sip of champagne. So there you are from season 6, the episode, The Anniversary. Thank you for watching this segment of Behind the Scenes of the Waltons, and I will see you for more in the future and more segments of Ask Judy. Thanks for watching.